We got some Bears injury news that we're going to get into in just a second. But first, want to remind you guys we have face coverings on sale. A lot of these on sale, including some of these 3-packs for up to 75% off. Head over to chatsports.com/BearsMasks. That's chatsports.com/BearsMasks. Go ahead and hook yourself up with a Bears face covering. We're allowed to go to games next year. You still may have to wear one of these, so why not rep the Bears in the process? Cheap, high quality, really, really good deal. chatsports.com/BearsMasks. Harrison Graham here on Chicago Bears Now. Let's take a look at some injury updates, or in some cases, lack thereof, heading into week 17. I did that again. Let's start over. Wild card weekend injury updates. Here we go. All right, let's start with Roquan Smith. We're getting back on track here. This is the one to keep an eye on because there's rumors flying around this situation that maybe he dislocated his elbow. Matt Nagy said we'll know more on Wednesday. When he's saying there's not an update until Wednesday, that's a little bit concerning. Usually you would hear a little bit of something, but he didn't give the media any of that. So obviously we know he left that game against the Packers, and he didn't return in virtually a do-or-die game if it wasn't for the Cardinals losing to the Rams. So that tells me a lot that the injury was significant enough for him to not even try to return to that football game. I think this is bad news for the Bears. I would put it at less than 50-50 that he plays on Sunday as of now, based on the information out there and based on the chatter that's out there. And that's going to be a big problem because Alvin Kamara is a mismatch nightmare. Now, as we're filming this, we don't know if Kamara has been cleared off the COVID-19 reserve list, but the expectation is that he will be based on the timeline of the typical COVID protocols and all of that stuff. So if he's out there, Roquan Smith is your best guy that has a chance to contain him and that can run with him a little bit. He might catch 10-plus catches in this, or 10-plus receptions in this game if Roquan doesn't play. That's a big problem for this Bears defense. Alvin Kamara is a mismatch nightmare, an even bigger mismatch nightmare if Roquan's not out there. The Bears' chances of beating the Saints aren't good already. They're even worse if they lose Roquan Smith. I would put it at 5% chance they win this game if Roquan isn't out there. So hopefully he can rally. Hopefully it's not dislocated. If it is, I don't know how you play with a dislocated elbow. I know Matt Nagy said he's a tough you-know-what, but at the end of the day, a dislocated elbow is a dislocated elbow. I don't see how he plays if that is the case. Now, will Roquan Smith play against the Saints? Type Y for yes. Type N for no. I hope so. Not super confident. I'm going to type my N for no. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments section. Get subscribed to Chicago Bears Now because we are closing in on 20,000 subscribers. We hit 19K during our watch party on Sunday, Bears vs. Packers watch party. Appreciate everybody who tuned in for that. Next milestone, 20,000. Launched last January 7th. We're like a day or two away from the year mark here on Chicago Bears Now. That'd be awesome to get to 20K by then. Might be a little bit lofty, but we have high goals and we have videos every single day for you guys. Subscribe if you haven't already. We greatly appreciate it. More injury stuff. Darnell Mooney obviously left that game as well with a leg injury. I think the chances are he probably gives it a go. He was limping off the field in that one, but remember, that was in the fourth quarter, so it's not like he had a lot of time to try to return to that game. But I will say this, even if he plays, he's a guy that makes people miss in space. He relies on his speed and explosiveness. He's probably not going to be 100%, so you can't imagine that he's going to have this type of performance. I mean, he was awesome against the Packers. Green Bay made it clear they didn't want Allen Robinson to beat him. Darnell Mooney did. He had an awesome game, 11 for 93, had a big play down the field as well. What a find for Ryan Pace in this for this football team. During this draft, 11 for 93, and on the season, guys, fifth-round rookie receivers don't do this. 61 catches for 631 yards and 4 touchdowns, and keep that in mind. That's in a below-average offense. That's pretty damn impressive for Darnell Mooney. So if he can't give it a go, or if he's like 75, 80%, that's obviously a challenging situation as well for this offense because he's been a reliable guy on the underneath stuff as well, which we know Mitch Trubisky does quite a bit as a quarterback. So hopefully Darnell Mooney can get back. I'm not super confident that he will. Now, grade Darnell Mooney's rookie season, because regardless of what happens in the playoffs, doesn't it have to be an A based on where he was drafted, based on what the expectations were? Remember, the Bears signed Ted Ginn Jr. and essentially cut him because Darnell Mooney was better. Like, that's pretty awesome for a fifth-round rookie. I'm going to give him an A. Let me know what you guys think. A, B, C, D, or F for Darnell Mooney. Now, Jaylon Johnson and the cornerback situation in general has been not great in recent weeks because him and Buster Skrine haven't played in quite a while. Week 14 was the last time we saw Johnson. He's been dealing with that shoulder problem, which is obviously a concern. Buster Skrine hadn't played since Week 12 with a concussion. Let's start with Skrine here and kind of circle back to Johnson. Guys, if he hadn't played since Week 12 with a concussion, think about that. We're 6 weeks into this thing now. He's probably not coming back this season. Look, we'll wait what the official injury reports are over the next few days. We'll know more on Wednesday and obviously Thursday and Friday as well. But what makes you think if he hadn't been able to be cleared the last 5 weeks that he will this week? That's pretty unlikely. Typically with concussions, if you're not cleared within 2 weeks, you're probably not coming back anytime soon. That's been the case with Buster Skrine. And obviously they've missed him because Duke Shelley's been a solid corner in terms of against the run and tackling. Not a great cover guy, though. And that's been a big challenge. You saw Devontae Adams. They put him in the slot on him a few times, and obviously that was an unfair matchup for Duke Shelley, the young corner out of Kansas State. Not saying Skrine could have done much better, but he's at least a guy who's been around. I think the bigger miss is Jaylon Johnson because he's been great as a rookie. 15 pass breakups in like 12 or 13 games. If he can come back, that would be huge because Michael Thomas is probably back for the Saints. And that's obviously a big deal. Thomas has been banged up most of the year. He should play in this game, though. And if you're only down to Kyle Fuller, that's going to be a big task for this defense, trying to slow down Drew Brees and Thomas and Kamara and all these guys. And obviously Roquan Smith being down potentially as well. Your defense has already been struggling as of late. It could be even harder this Sunday. Who's more important in the secondary? Type JJ for Jaylon Johnson. Type BS for Buster Skrine. I think it's pretty obvious it's Jaylon Johnson because outside corners just have more value and have more impact on a football game, so I'm typing JJ. But let me know what you guys think down below. I want to remind you guys of these face coverings that we have available. We have solo packs all the way up to 4-packs at chatsports.com/bearsmasks. Tons of these are on sale. Not all of them, but most of them are. In a couple of cases, they are up to 75% off. Rep the Bears when you're wearing your face covering because, hey, we still have to wear these things out in public. You go to the store, that type of thing, you're going to have to wear one. So why not rep the Bears in the process? Probably need a new one by now. chatsports.com/bearsmasks. That link will be in the comments and in the description. All right, one more news, kind of rumorsy item as well here as we wrap up this section of our live show for those of you guys watching live. Mike Furrey, the wide receivers coach, he apparently could be in the mix for the Marshall head coaching job. The small group of 5 college up there in West Virginia shockingly fired Doc Holliday, and apparently Furrey could be a candidate for a couple of reasons. One, he was the wide receivers coach for 3 years, I believe, from 2012 to 2014 at Marshall, and that's when their offense was among the best in the group of 5. And 2, he has been a head coach at the college level before, at a small NAIA program and at a D2 program as well. The NAIA school he took over for went 0-11 the year before he took over, 7-4 his first season. So he's been able to kind of do a good job at these lower level programs as a head coach. And if he has head coach aspirations, this is a good opportunity for him considering he's only a position coach in the NFL. So this is something to track because he could have a chance at the Marshall head coaching job.